Welcome to the Toyota Land Cruiser, a car so tough it laughs at electric cars and its fragile charging stations. It's been around since 1951, outliving trends, wars, and probably your last three phones. Whether you're crossing the Sahara, navigating a jungle, or heading into a war zone. Yep, we'll get into that. The Land Cruiser is a vehicle you can count on. To my EV enthusiast, this one's for you too. While you worry about finding a charging station on your road trip, the Land Cruiser is halfway through a desert running on diesel, dreams, and pure guts. It's not just a car, it's a moving middle finger to modern fragility. The Land Cruiser story begins in 1951. The Toyota BJ, a rugged, military-style Jeep clone. Why BJ? Maybe Toyota wanted to keep things interesting. This beast climbed Mount Fuji when most cars were barely making it up hills. By 1954, the name Land Cruiser was coined as Toyota aimed to dethrone the Land Rover. The 40 series, 1960s, was the first to go global and it quickly became the gold standard for durability. You needed a vehicle for farmers, soldiers, or safari goers. The Land Cruiser was your answer. Electric cars, they weren't even a dream because Land Cruiser was busy building the reality of all-terrain domination. The 60 series in 1980s marked Toyota's genius move to combine toughness with comfort. Now, you could take your family camping and survive an apocalypse in style. By 80 series, you got differential locks and the all-goodies series of roaders drool over. This was the SUV that the United Nations loved, and ironically so did warlords. The 100 series entered luxury territory without abandoning its rugged roots. Toyota understood the people wanted an SUV that could crush a boulder and still look good parked outside a 5-star hotel. Meanwhile, electric cars were experimenting with looking like oversized remote control toys. By the time 200 series arrived in 2008, it became a true icon, a mix of power, reliability, and secret handshake to anyone who understood what designed for eternity really meant. Now comes the bittersweet part. As the world got greener and SUVs started looking more like minivans, the Land Cruiser struggled. It was too thirsty for fuel, too big for narrow city roads, and too politically incorrect for environmentalists. Toyota discontinued the Land Cruiser in the US 2021, citing declining sales. Sure, electric cars were gaining traction, but let's face it, charging an EV in the middle of nowhere is like trying to fill a pool with a teaspoon. It's cute, but impractical. Toyota wasn't giving up though. The Land Cruiser still thrived in parts of the world where actual roads were optional, places where a fancy Tesla wouldn't last 5 minutes without the charger, signal, or prayer. Why terrorists love it? The Land Cruiser and its unintended fan base. Militants and terrorists have turned this SUV into a battlefield favorite. But why? Unstoppable reliability. A Land Cruiser doesn't break, it just takes a coffee break and keeps going. Simplicity. No complicated tech, no fancy computers, just good old mechanics anyone with toolbox can fix. Availability. They're everywhere. Originally sold to NGOs, governments, and aid agencies, these vehicles often find their way to the black market. Some are stolen, others are redirected. Toyota once had to investigate how its vehicles ended up in ISIS propaganda videos. Spoiler, it wasn't Toyota's fault. It's just that when you build something so good, everyone wants it. Just when you thought the Land Cruiser had faded in history, Toyota announced its great and grand comeback with the 2024 Land Cruiser 250 series. It's slimmer, lighter, and still tougher than a steel-plated rhinoceros. Toyota is giving its hybrid options too. so it can now whisper through forests while still climbing mountains. It's not just a car, it's a cultural reset. And while electric cars keep getting updates to fix their bugs, the Land Cruiser doesn't need to fix what isn't broken. The Toyota Land Cruiser isn't just a vehicle, it's a legacy. From Mount Fuji to the Middle East, from jungles to deserts, it's proved itself as the king of off-roaders. To my electric car fans, yes, the future is exciting, but until your car can survive a war zone or cross Sahara, it's just a fancy gadget. The Land Cruiser is proof that some things don't need to change, just need to keep being awesome. Don't forget to like, comment and let me know, could your electric car handle a day in the life of a Land Cruiser?